Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a shocking game that will go down in the history books. Florida State just suffered their first ever loss to the Duke Blue Devils in program history, and it was a game filled with mistakes, turnovers, and missed opportunities. Let's get into the details of how Duke pulled off this 23-16 win and handed FSU a new program low. For the first time ever, Florida State lost to Duke, and turnovers were the biggest reason. The Seminoles turned the ball over 4 times, starting in the first quarter, and it was an uphill battle from there. Even though FSU has a 22-1 all-time record against Duke, this Friday night game was one disaster after another for the Noles. FSU's offensive struggles were clear, from quarterback changes to special teams gaffes, even after getting their first kickoff return touchdown of the season. The offensive line couldn't hold up against Duke's blitz-heavy defense, and the receivers struggled with dropped passes. In the final moments, with the ball in Duke territory and a chance to tie, costly mistakes sealed the deal for the Blue Devils. Jeremiah Byers gave up a sack, committed a false start, and then another sack on 4th down ended Florida State's hopes. Despite the loss, FSU's defense played hard. They allowed 17 of Duke's 23 points off turnovers, but in the first half, they gave up just 1.9 yards per play and didn't let Duke into the end zone in the second half. The Blue Devils were terrible on 3rd downs, going just 3 of 16, and FSU held them to 3.7 yards per rush. But even a strong defensive effort couldn't overcome the offensive mistakes. This loss marked Florida State's 3rd straight defeat, each one more painful than the last. The game actually started on a good note for the Seminoles. The defense forced a 3-and-out, and on their first offensive possession, Ryan Fitzgerald kicked a field goal to give them the early lead. On top of that, FSU forced punts on Duke's first 3 possessions. Kyle Morlock even pulled off a brilliant fake punt in the first half, sparking some energy into FSU's offense. But things went south quickly. Malik Benson dropped a wide-open pass, and then a bad snap led to Fitzgerald's first missed field goal of the season. On the next drive, quarterback Brock Glenn made the first of 3 straight turnovers on back-to-back-to-back plays. The most damaging came when Glenn threw an out route late, and the Blue Devils picked it off and ran it back for a touchdown. It didn't end there. Glenn lost a fumble on a quarterback keeper the very next play, and Duke cashed in with another touchdown. Then, unbelievably, Glenn threw another interception on the next play, giving Duke the ball on FSU's 11-yard line. Luckily, the defense held Duke to a field goal, keeping the deficit to 14 points. Mike Norvell made a quarterback switch, bringing in true freshman Luke Kromenhoek. While he didn't complete any passes on his first drive, he helped FSU get into field goal range. But missed opportunities continued to haunt the Seminoles, as Kentron Poiter dropped a potential touchdown. The Seminoles went into halftime down 17-6, and they desperately needed a spark. That spark came from Sam Singleton, who ripped off a 95-yard kickoff return touchdown to open the second half, cutting Duke's lead to 4 points. However, Duke responded with a field goal, extending the lead back to 7. Despite flashes from Glenn and the offense, penalties and mistakes, like an illegal block and delay of game, kept the Seminoles from capitalizing on their chances. Duke hit another field goal after a 44-yard explosive run, and though FSU kept pushing, even getting into Duke territory late in the game, another fumble by freshman Cam Davis ended the drive. In the final moments, FSU's defense got one last stop, forcing a 3-and-out, and gave the offense the ball back with a chance to tie. But the mistakes piled up once again. Negative plays and a sack on 4th down ended the night for Florida State, handing Duke the 23-16 victory. It's a tough pill to swallow for Seminoles fans, as this loss marks a new low for the program. Duke capitalized on every FSU mistake and walked away with their first ever win against the Seminoles. What do you think went wrong for FSU? And can they bounce back from this? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more football breakdowns, and I'll catch you in the next.